So this actually works. I am filming this on my Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III. I am using the Rode VideoMic Go, which you can see right here. And yesterday I got this little AO Dylan remote for the G7X Mark III because I didn't want to, go back and forth and press the stop button behind the camera. It's pretty hard to see it when, you're facing the camera. But anyway, my girlfriend and I, we've been together for 4 years now. And I know she's a keeper because back in January 2017, that's when we started dating. And March 2017, I took off for 4 months to Calgary for a contract, for an IT contract. And 4 years later, we're still together. And we're 99% sure we're going to move to Calgary at some point this year. It was pretty difficult. Well, the financial situation was difficult, and finding jobs out there is going to be tough. But I think once we get out there, we'll be able to, find jobs pretty quickly and easily. But like I was saying, I am not going to go into much detail because I want to keep my girlfriend's privacy. I'm not going to mention her name in this video at all because, well, she doesn't know I'm making it. But her ex-boyfriend was, from what she told me, was physically and mentally abusive. And that's why she left him, I think 7 or 8 years ago, a few years before she met me. And he abused her a few times physically and emotionally, and she just got fed up with it. And what we're thinking is he got brain cancer, some sort of cancer, which affected his personality and the way he interacted with people. Nikki found out that last September 2020, that he is no longer with us. He passed away, and we don't know the reason, but we're guessing cancer because she found his obituary and it stated to make donations to a cancer charity or a cancer society here in Canada, in Ottawa. So basically, we figured with the way he acted, what he did, what he was doing, we figured he had some sort of brain cancer, and, the way it works, it affected his brain and his cognitive abilities, and as such, he passed away from it. He worked, I know, for like the city of Ottawa, which they have a good pension plan, and I don't know if he did it on purpose or willingly or unwillingly. He left my girlfriend's name as the sole, what would you call it, like the sole recipient of his retirement or his pension fund. So basically, this is kind of funny. She got contacted by the company that deals with the pensions for the city of Ottawa, asking if she was his former spouse. And my girlfriend's like, he was kind of a dink at the end of our relationship. It didn't end well, but yeah, the whole thing was kind of funny. Well, not funny, but the way it happened. When my girlfriend got the amount that she's going to be benefiting, it's a nice amount of money, which will help us, pay debt, resolve our tax issues, and yeah, it's gonna be a change of life, that's for sure. I want to talk about now I want to talk about my photography. I've gone out the last 3 days, this being the third day, of trying to motivate myself to shoot something, to photograph anything, something. And I couldn't bring myself to do it. Not that I hate photography, I love it. It's just that I've shot or photographed pretty much everything that I could here in Ottawa. There's only so many things you can shoot down here. Parliament buildings, Supreme Court of Canada, there's a lot of nice museums here, but after, 5 or 6 years of, shooting the same thing, it kind of becomes boring. Especially in lockdown now, we're apparently in a third wave. Now here in Ottawa, we're in the red zone. They're locking us down again tomorrow, which is fantastic. My contract also ends Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. So I have to look for other work. I don't know if I want to do IT anymore. I've been doing it for 20 years. And I'm bored. I'm bored with it. I go from contract to contract to contract. I've applied to the government so many times. I've had one interview in 20 years. And when I walked into the interview, this was 4 years ago. No, 3.5 years ago when I got back to Ottawa. As soon as I walked into the room, it was myself and 4 women that obviously to me did not appreciate my gender. They were of the loving women types, if you know what I mean. Basically, all men are, racist, sexist pigs. But anyway, there's no chance of me getting in with the government. Last year, my girlfriend was offered a government position with DFO, Fisheries and Oceans, here in Ottawa. The person that offered her a job took her paperwork down to HR. HR told her, oh, she's not bilingual, rescind the offer. But and this person that offered her the job was, well, we're going to teach her, we're going to spend money, send her for French classes, that she can do the job. They said, no, we're not offering that anymore, that's not in the budget, rescind the offer. So that she was pretty optimistic, before that she was going to get in with the government, and we'd be able to at least, if the opportunity arose, at least one of us would have, a permanent full-time position with the government, which was stable, so I could maybe continue doing the contract thing. But right now, the way things are going here in Ottawa and in Ontario with what Doug Ford is doing, there's no chance of us, getting a permanent job with the government, well, even with what Trudeau's doing, but that's beside the point. So yeah, actually when I was in Calgary, I flew my girlfriend out for a week, and the minute she landed, the way, like, we got out of the airport, I took her to one of the places that overlooked the city, and she kind of looked at me and she's like, Joe, we need to move here. It's much nicer than Ottawa. And like the first day we drove out to the mountains. Actually, no, there was a second day because we were going to meet one of my friends in Seattle in a couple of days. And I had a friend at the time. He was house sitting in BC in the Okanagan Valley. And he's like, just come over, rent a hotel room for 2 days, check out the place. And I think the first 2 days we stayed in Calgary. And we went out to, Banff, visited a few of the lakes out there. And yeah, she's like, Joe, we need to move. She misses it badly, and I miss it even worse. And, we went out to BC, went to Vancouver, drove down through Seattle, and then stayed around Seattle, and then we drove back east through Washington State up to Alberta. And this was in early June, and we're driving back, and the funny thing is, we're about 8,000 feet up, and it's snowing in early June, which is a kind of funny reminder. That's one reason. Well, there's a host of reasons why both of us want to move. For me personally, I can't take it anymore here in Ottawa. Just the ability to get a full-time job, because I'm not bilingual. I mean, I can do the job. I'm a desk side support guy. 20 years experience. I'm really good with people. But I can't do it anymore. Not the IT, not the way I'm being treated here. The current position I have, I'm a site lead for at least minimum 2 people. And with all the lockdowns and the Rona, they're getting rid of my position because they don't want 3 or 4 people going to one site. They only want 2. So basically, the people that are going to go, they don't really need a site lead to watch over them. So basically, I'm out of a job. And yeah. So if anybody watching this video needs a photographer, or I don't know, I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do. I know if I do this photography thing, it's gonna be pretty damn hard for next year, because with the Rona, I don't think anybody wants to do, headshots, or if I take people out to, learn for them to learn the camera. With this whole social distancing stuff, they don't want to, get too close. So I think tours are going to be hard. And to be honest, like I said, I don't know if I want to do this IT thing anymore, unless it's, permanent full-time. I can't do the contract thing anymore. It's, if I have a contract for 6 months or 12 months, within that 6 months or 12 months, I get 3 or 4 calls every couple of weeks. Are you available? Are you available? When I'm looking, it's the drive in the Sahara Desert. There's nothing. Nobody's hiring. Nobody's looking. I've been doing photography for, I'd say, a good 15 years now. I got my interest, well, the way it started was back in 85 or so, or 845, my dad and one of his friends took my brother and I up to Algonquin Park during the summer. And I remember this specifically, the one night that it was clear. We went to one of the beaches on the lake and lie down, and literally you could see thousands of stars out in the sky. It was a moonless night and clear. The sky, you could read by the starlight. I mean, I was 11 or 12 back then. 85, I was 11, 8, 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. And then in 86, Halley's Comet came, and that really got me interested into photography. So I bought, and I saved up, money from doing chores and delivering newspapers and whatnot. Saved up some money and bought a film camera. It was a Minolta, I forget the name of it, but yeah, I don't know where it is now. I think I ruined it. And then in 97, Hale Bopp came, and I had another camera at that time, because that was the first trip that I took to Prague, and didn't understand how to use it. I was 22 and I was stupid back then. And then, yeah, I guess around 2006 or so, I bought a little point and shoot with a 2 megapixel camera, 2 megapixel sensor. And that really got me hooked. And since then, I upgraded from that little crap camera to a Canon EOS T1i and Canon 7D and Canon 60. I've had multiple camera bodies, camera lenses, camera whatever. But now I just shoot with a Sony A7R Mark II and an f 3.5 to 6.3 24 to 240 millimeter Sony lens. Back, I guess, 9 years ago, I signed up for Shutterstock and all these agencies to sell my photos. Didn't get anything accepted for 2 years. Not that I was uploading stuff, but in 2014, stuff was, stuff was getting accepted, and the first day I got, I think, 7 out of 10 photos accepted. And within 45 minutes, I was selling stuff, selling photos. And 7 years later, I've made about $20,000 in photo and video sales. Oh yeah, videos. Funny thing, in 2015, when I went back to school for photography in 2010 to 2012, and a few of us had a discussion. We're here to do only photography only. We don't want to do video. We don't want to do anything else. In 2015, I went up to Park Omega, which is like a zoo. They drive through and it has, wolves, coyotes, bears, and such. And in 2015, the year I got my divorce, I went up in April, I think, April or May. Just didn't feel like going to work, so I called in sick and whipped out my camera. The light was probably the best light I've ever seen. Anyway, I whipped out my camera. At that time I had a Canon 6D, and I had a 100 to 500 Sigma lens on my Canon 60, and I shot a video of a timber wolf. Oh no, sorry, it was a coyote. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put this up, and you know, I've never shot video before. Don't know how. Didn't know how then. And got a 30-second video of a coyote. Uploaded that day when I got back home. It got accepted, and within a week it sold for $120. And from then on it sold, I think, 25 times for a few $100s. And somebody actually bought a 1080p video of a duck. It wasn't a mallard. It was one of these newer, or one of these different ducks. And somebody bought it for $188 US, so which was about $215, $220 Canadian at the time. So now I have just, Shutterstock. I'm still selling there, and I'm on Adobe Stock. All the links to my portfolios and my personal websites are going to be in the description of this video. And Shutterstock is a complete waste of time. I haven't uploaded anything since last June, or last May 26th, when they announced their new payment model to contributors. So far this year, I've sold, I think, 97 photos and video in one video. So 96 photos, one video. And I'd say 88 of those photos are for 10 cents. So do not upload at least photos to Shutterstock. Go to Adobe Stock. There they pay you a minimum 33 cents. You're not going to sell as many photos, but the price is much better. What Adobe pays you is much, much better. I average about 70 to $1 per download. So that's much better than what Shutterstock is doing. So yeah, in conclusion, you know what? This thing is really, really awesome. It's this here. I don't know if it's going to focus. Probably not. It's focusing on my face. But it is fantastic. You don't have to, reach around the camera, bump around for the start-stop video button. But anyway, in conclusion, I think we're going to be in Calgary at some point this year. It's just a matter of when. I'm looking for work out there. If that doesn't work out, I think we're still going to work out, and I want to do this photography thing full time. My girlfriend got enough money to, get us through at least a year of whatever. Not that I want to, depend on her and take her money away, or her having to spend money on me for me to pursue my dream. I want to do this on my own with as little help as I can. So if you want and support me, I'm not asking you to donate money. I do have a PayPal button on my website, my blog, which I'll link to down below. But I would rather you purchase my photography if you like it or not. I would never, beg for money and ask people, hey, can you just give me money? I'm not that kind of guy. I would rather you buy something and get something out of, supporting me. It's a two-way street. I'm not a giver, or I'm not a taker. I'm much more of I'll try and help you out as much as I can to the best of my ability. I would rather somebody buy my photography, hang it on a wall, or put it on the desk or something, or put it on the fridge, via magnet. I would rather do that than, here's a couple of bucks, hope it helps. I would rather you spend, I don't know, some amount of money to buy like a small card or a coffee cup or a print. I sell on various websites like Redbubble, Fine Art America, which sell, prints and mugs and masks and whatnot. I would rather you buy something from me than you just give me money because, I don't know. I don't want somebody to feel sorry for me. I want you to get something out of, the transaction, whether it be some sort of photography from me and I get, the money. I don't want somebody's pity. I want to make it on my own. Like, I have people that have helped me. My parents, especially my girlfriend, is just amazing and fantastic what she's put up with. And yeah, that's all I really, really have to say for this video.